Who's the legend who scored more than today's MVPs, grabbed more rebounds than any big man, and stayed on the court longer than anyone else, night after night? Sounds unreal, right? But Wilt Chamberlain actually did it. At 7 feet 1 inch, the Big Dipper wasn't just another great athlete. He sprinted like a guard, jumped like a high jumper, and powered through defenders like they were nothing in front of him. And that's why today, we're diving into his 50-point season, the 100-point game, and the 48.5-minute man to show why he's the all-time most dominant player in NBA history. Let's start with what made him a physical anomaly. Wilt Chamberlain wasn't just tall, he was built differently. At 7 feet 1, weighing 275 pounds in his prime, he could sprint the 440-yard dash in under 49 seconds and high jump over 6 feet 6 inches. Seriously, that's track-level athleticism, trapped inside the body of a skyscraper. While most 7-footers lumber down the floor, Wilt glided. He once ran a sub-11-second 100-yard dash and could dunk from the free throw line in high school. People talk about unicorns in today's game. Wilt was the original mythical creature. When he stepped onto an NBA floor, defenders looked like traffic cones trying to slow down a freight train. His arms went on for days, and his vertical, which was said to be a ridiculous 48 inches, meant he could touch the top of the backboard. He was faster than most guards, stronger than every center, and somehow never seemed tired. His coaches had to remind him to stop blocking his own teammates' shots in practice because he was just everywhere. And when those physics-defying gifts collided with the NBA stat sheet, that's when we hit the zone of impossibility, the kind of season that made numbers feel like fiction. Just think of scoring 50 points a night, not once, not twice, but for an entire season. In 1961-62, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50.4 points and 25.7 rebounds per game. That's not a myth. That's what happens when the sport's limits are redefined by one man. Over 80 games, he scored 4,029 points, playing almost every single minute of every contest. Then came the legendary night of March 2nd, 1962 in Hershey, Pennsylvania, of all places. Against the Knicks, Wilt went off for 100 points, hitting 36 of 63 field goals and, get this, a ridiculous 28 of 32 free throws. The craziest part? He was a 51% free throw shooter that season. Suddenly, he looked like Steph Curry at the stripe. The crowd was chanting every bucket, and by the end, teammates were fouling intentionally just to get him more shots. That single night is still remembered as basketball's greatest statistical miracle. To give you some perspective, no one else in history has ever scored more than 81 in a game. Wilt had 118 games of 50 or more. Michael Jordan, by comparison, had 31. Think about that massive gap. Wilt wasn't just playing basketball, he was totally breaking it. His 55 rebound game against Bill Russell, his back-to-back nights of 73 and 62 points, his 7 straight 50-point games. These are just alien numbers in a human sport. But even more astonishing than those points was what made them possible, the sheer endurance of a man who genuinely seemed immune to exhaustion. In 1961-62, Wilt averaged 48.5 minutes per game. That is, like more than the length of an actual NBA game, including overtimes. It's an endurance record that has survived over 6 decades, and it's probably never going to be broken. He didn't just dominate. The dude never left the floor. Wilt also played 1,205 career games without ever fouling out. Think about that for a second. Never disqualified, despite defending the rim like a one-man security system. He led the league in rebounds 11 times, and is still the NBA's all-time leader in total rebounds, 23,924. Against all the great big men of his era, Russell, Thurmond, Reed, Wilt owned the glass. He once snatched 55 rebounds in a single night, another number that remains untouched to this day. It was intimidation itself. In an era before defensive rating, Wilt was the definition of defensive presence. Opponents adjusted their playbooks to avoid his orbit, and even with all that effort, his body never broke down. He averaged 45.8 minutes per game for his career. Modern stars rest that much in a week. The man was basketball's iron engine, powering non-stop. But what makes Wilt's story fascinating isn't just how he played, it's how he changed his game completely. once he decided that winning mattered more than scoring. By the late 60s, Wilt Chamberlain had proven he could outscore everyone alive, but after years of playoff heartbreak, he wanted what Bill Russell had: rings. Under coach Alex Hannum with the 1967 76ers, Wilt reinvented himself. He became the centerpiece of a system, not the solo act. The result? A 68-win season and a championship that broke the Celtics' 8-year reign. In 1967-68, he went even further, leading the league in assists with 702, averaging 8.6 per game. A center leading the NBA in passing. That's still unthinkable. He even had a 22-point, 25-rebound, 21-assist game, the league's only triple-double-double. Then came the Lakers era. After joining Los Angeles in 1968, Wilt faced new challenges, including a major knee injury. But when coach Bill Sharman arrived in 1971-72, Wilt embraced defense and leadership. That season, the Lakers went on a 33-game winning streak, still the longest in NBA history, and captured the title with Wilt named Finals MVP. He'd gone from volume scorer to disciplined anchor, from unstoppable to unselfish. In 1972, he shot a career-best 72.7% from the field, the highest mark ever. That transformation cemented his greatness in every era of his career. And once he proved he could dominate in any role, the question became, how long would those records and that dominance actually last? Wilt Chamberlain's numbers read like mythology carved into basketball stone. He holds more than 90 official NBA records, once 128 at retirement. His fingerprints changed the rulebook. The lane widened from 12 to 16 feet. Offensive goaltending was banned, and inbounders couldn't lob the ball over the rim because Wilt could just catch and dunk it. Even after retirement, his legend didn't fade. He stayed active coaching, acting in Conan the Barbarian, dominating volleyball, even running marathons. Teams occasionally called him in his 50s, thinking he could still give them minutes. He never returned, but he loved that the myth persisted. Wilt was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1978 and named to the NBA's 50th anniversary team in 1996. He passed in 1999, yet his legacy only grew. Joel Embiid's 70-point game in 2024 reminded fans that Wilt's shadow still stretches across generations. Wilt didn't just play basketball. He expanded its boundaries. 50-point averages, 100-point games, 48-minute seasons. Those are numbers that belong to no one else. He forced the league to evolve just to keep up. In the end, Wilt Chamberlain didn't just dominate basketball. He challenged its limits. His records still tower over every generation, untouched and almost untouchable. Now the question is, will anyone ever be able to change basketball the way Wilt Chamberlain did? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you in the next video.